The world's most dangerous 21 miles width if just 21 miles could control the world. That is the reality of the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow stretch of water carries nearly 20% of the world's oil supply every single day. It is one of the most critical points on Earth, where global power, energy, and tension all meet, long before modern politics. This region was part of the ancient Persian Empire, one of the largest empires in history. It stretched across continents and controlled dozens of nations. Today, that same land still holds massive importance. But now, the power is not about armies, it is about energy. Every ship that passes through this narrow route carries fuel that powers economies around the world. Even a small disruption here could create global chaos. This is why experts call it the jugular vein of humanity, because if this point is blocked, the entire system suffers. And right beside this critical passage lies a place that looks almost unreal: Hormuz Island. The island that looks like another planet. Hormuz Island does not look like Earth. Its surface is filled with deep red mountains, black shining beaches, purple valleys, and golden ground. More than 70 different mineral colors exist here. This strange landscape was not created recently. It is the result of millions of years of geological pressure, where salt and volcanic material pushed upward through the earth. The island is still changing even today. Nothing here feels still. Around 3,000 people live on this island, mostly fishermen. For them, this environment is not something to admire, it is part of daily life. One unique tradition shows this clearly. Local women grind red soil, called gelic, and use it in cooking. It adds both color and flavor to their food. Even history is part of the land. A Portuguese fort built in 1507 still stands here, slowly breaking down and returning to the same soil it came from. On Hormuz, nature and human life are deeply connected and constantly changing. Beauty that is slowly disappearing, but this beauty is not safe. Rising temperatures in the Gulf are damaging coral reefs around the island. At the same time, tourism is increasing. More visitors are coming to see the unique landscape. But this also puts pressure on the environment. The very thing that attracts people is slowly being damaged by their presence. This creates a difficult situation. What should be protected is also what people want to experience. For the people living here, life is not easy. The land cannot support farming because the soil is too salty. Fresh water is not available naturally. Every drop must be brought from outside or produced through desalination. Fishing is also becoming harder. Warmer waters and industrial fishing have reduced fish populations. Each year, many working-age residents leave the island to find jobs elsewhere. Hormuz continues to exist, but survival here is becoming more difficult. Keshem, a giant of geological history just nearby, is Keshem Island. Much larger and equally important. It stretches across a huge area, making it bigger than some entire countries. This island sits where two major tectonic plates meet. That collision has shaped its unique landscape over millions of years. Keshem is home to one of the world's longest salt caves, extending over for miles. Inside, the cave shows colors and formations that are older than most life on Earth. The island is also home to mangrove forests and rare wildlife. But Keshem is not just about nature. Around 148,000 people live here. They have built a culture connected to the sea. Boat builders still create traditional wooden ships without using any designs, only memory and experience. Their language includes words from many regions, showing centuries of trade and travel. But today, this culture faces challenges. Tourism and modern jobs are pulling younger generations away. Even a place this large and ancient is not guaranteed to survive unchanged. Larik, the island of glowing water, imaging the ocean glowing in the dark. On Larik Island, this is real. At certain times of the year, the water lights up with a blue-green glow. This happens because of tiny organisms called phytoplankton. When the water moves, they create light. For local fishermen, this is not just beauty, it is useful. The glowing water often means fish are nearby. This helps them decide where to fish at night. Larik is small and quiet, but its location is extremely important. It sits very close to one of the busiest shipping routes in the world. From here, you can see ships carrying millions of barrels of oil every day. Because of its strategic importance, development on the island is limited. This has helped preserve its natural environment. Unlike other places, Larik remains mostly untouched. Sometimes, staying hidden is what protects a place the most. Hengam, a small island with strong tradition. Chingam Island is small, but its culture is powerful. It has no big roads, no large hotels, and only a few hundred residents. But life here continues in its own way. Women on this island are among the few in the region who work as fishermen. They go out early in the morning and catch fish using traditional methods. Local artisans also create jewelry from shells, turning natural waste into income. At night, the island shares the same glowing water seen on Larik. The beaches here shine with a silver-like effect during the day. But this peaceful life faces challenges. Tourism is increasing, and it is disturbing local wildlife, especially dolphins. Human activity is slowly changing the natural balance. Hengam shows how small communities can hold deep knowledge of their environment, but it also shows how fragile that balance can be. Kish and Laven, to different reality. Eskish Island represents a different story. It is more developed and attracts millions of visitors every year. But beneath its surface lies something ancienter. 2,500-year-old water system. This underground structure filters water naturally using coral and rock. It shows how people survived here long before modern technology. At the same time, Laven Island tells another story. It is rich in oil resources and filled with industrial infrastructure. Pipelines and refineries dominate the landscape. But long ago, this island was famous for pearl diving. That tradition disappeared when modern technology replaced natural pearls. Today, workers come here for oil-related jobs. The old way of life is slowly fading. These two islands show a contrast between history and modern industry. A warning from nature. Far from the islands lies Lake Ermia, once one of the largest salt lakes in the world. It has lost more than 90% of its water. What remains changes color from green to deep red depending on conditions. This is not just natural beauty. It is a warning. Human actions like dam construction and water diversion have caused this damage. Efforts to restore the lake have had limited success. Some changes may never be reversed. This is the bigger message. The Persian Gulf region is not just about politics or trade. It is about survival in extreme conditions. The people here have adapted for generations. But today, the challenges are growing faster than ever. These places are not just unique, they are signals of the future. What is happening here today may soon happen everywhere. This is not the end of the story. This is where the future begins.